So now that there it is. So the recording is started. Welcome everybody to Flow. I'm just gonna mute everybody just so since we are recording. My name is Karley. Thank you so much for joining. If you want to start today in a comfortable cross-legged seat, that might mean for you that you're fine with your booty on the floor, or of course, if you want to sit up on a pillow, prop, rolled up blanket, anything like that. Just allow yourself to really ground in your seat. Legs can cross, or you can have ankles kind of in front of one another if that's all right with your hips. And we'll start by, you can take the hands down to the knees. You'll feel the elbows draw in towards the ribs, and right away that'll kind of relax the shoulders down. And when you get here and when you feel comfortable, and feel free to adjust so that you allow yourself to settle into the shape. We'll begin today by taking a few breaths in through the nose and exhale, sigh them out the mouth. So the good news being here, everybody on mute, you can breathe in and sigh out, take up space, make noise. But continue to do that. Pull big breaths in and exhale, perhaps bigger breaths out, sort of acting like this sense of release. And then if it feels right, maybe you close the eyes as you begin to do that. Big in, big out. And if you don't want to close the eyes, just soften the gaze down to the earth in front of you. And let your focus in these beginning moments simply be on the breath, coming in and clearing out. Good. Do that about 3 to 5 more rounds at your pace. And then when you're ready, take a big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And then you can begin to blink the eyes open and just notice. Elbows draw into the ribs, shoulders away from the ears. Allow yourself to feel grounded. Almost like a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser has kind of come in and let go of everything that was happening before this, so that you have a clean slate to move in a way that serves you, to choose the movements that serve you on your mat today. So we'll start with this kind of season today's practice with hands staying down by the knees. You can drop the chin down into the chest. If you want to play your music, you can go ahead and start that. And then when you're ready, you'll drop left ear over to left shoulder. And if this feels right, you stay right here, or perhaps right fingertips reach down by right hip. Stay, or begin to walk the right fingertips back behind you until you feel sensation from the top of the neck all the way down to right fingertips. And if this is enough, you can choose to stay here, or perhaps left hand catches just above right ear as you gently pull the head over, deepening the sensation in the neck. You can take a big breath wherever you are. And then exhale, release. The hands can come back down to the knees. The chin will drop down into the chest. And then you'll roll right ear over to right shoulder. You stay right here, or left fingertips come down by your side. Stay, or walk left fingertips back behind you, pull a little sensation down the left arm. And then you choose if this is enough, let it be enough, or perhaps right fingertips catch just above the left ear as you gently pull the head over. Good, take a big breath in where you are. And then begin to come out slow and steady on the exhale. Return the hands back to home base, hands on the knees, elbows in. And then left hand will go over to the right knee, right fingertips will come behind you and you'll find a little twist. Now in this practice of options, allow yourself to have the permission to find what works for you. So you either stay right here or perhaps that right arm stretches up and you feel lengthen the spine as right fingertips reach up. Stay or use that right hand as a lever to lean up and over to the left so that you twist while also bringing space into right side body. Good, take a breath wherever you are. And then come out on the exhale back to center. And then we'll switch. Right hand to left knee, left fingertips behind you. This is stop number 1. This is more than enough if it works for you. Or perhaps left fingertips stretch up as you breathe length in the spine as you twist. Stay or begin to lean up and over, pulling a little bit of space into left side body as you lengthen and twist. So take a big breath in, and then on the exhale, begin to come out of whatever you have found back to center, hands on the knees, elbows point in. Take a big breath in, draw the chest forward, find a seated cow. Exhale, root down into the hands as you round back, seated cat. Twice more like that. Inhale, pull the heart forward, seated cow. Exhale, round, seated cat. Last one. Inhale, pull forward, seated cow. Exhale, round, back, seated cat. And then as you are ready, you can either place the hands down and roll over the knees, or just make your way back into tabletop. And when you get there, you have a few choices for how you find cat and cow here. So if you want something closer to the earth, you'll rock the forearms down, knees under hips. If you want a traditional tabletop, hands under shoulders. Or perhaps if the wrists need a little bit of reprieve, you can come onto fists. And then when you found a foundation that works for you, cats and cows at your pace. And so part of making this practice tailored to what your body needs might mean that you try, just like Goldilocks, a few moments in each orientation so that you, like the story says, can find something that is just right. And you may find that what feels just right is inherently what you do all the time, what's comfortable, and that is perfectly fine. Or perhaps maybe what's right for you today is something completely different, and that is also fine. It's not so much in what the answer is, but allowing yourself to find it. A few more rounds of cats and cows wherever you've decided to be. Good, and then as you're ready, you can begin to take the knees a little bit wider, bring the big toes together to touch. You'll sink the hips back onto the heels, stretch the arms in front of you, and come into a child's pose. You take a big breath here in child's pose and exhale, sigh it out. And then as you find yourself in this shape, use the breath to remind you that you get to choose the ways in which you move today. The options here are not a rubric for what you should or shouldn't do. Think of it just as this season to taste, a practice that is by you and for you. And with that in mind, that empowerment and reminder of your agency, take a big breath in and a bigger breath out. And then press down into the palms to either pull yourself back up to tabletop and then tuck the toes. And as you're ready, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And if you get to downward dog and you're not quite ready for it, sink the knees back down, come into tabletop, and play with just stretching the legs straight to dog and tapping the knees back down. If your body is ready for downward facing dog, whenever that happens, go ahead and pedal through the feet, dropping one knee and opposite heel down. Maybe inviting the head to shake yes and no, releasing any tension in the neck. Good, and then eventually in about 3 breaths, we'll meet in stillness and downward facing dog. So when you find the shape that works for you today, go ahead and sink into it. Allow yourself to be still. As an observation of your body in the shape. And if you need to make any adjustments, adjust. Good, and then take a big breath in, exhale, sigh it out, let something go. You'll take a big bend in the knees, and then you'll walk the hands slow and steady towards the feet, eventually landing the heels down, coming into a fold at the back of the mat. You'll inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Good, one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and then as you begin to walk the hands forward, you'll drop the knees down, come back into tabletop. You'll take a breath in, look up, drop the belly, cow. Exhale, round up, kitty cat back. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes, walk the palms out slightly. Stretch back up into downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, dog. Exhale, let something go. One more big breath here in dog. Exhale, sigh it out, and then different this time, you'll lift the heels, bend the knees. Walk the feet up to the hands, forward fold at the top of the mat. You'll inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, and now you'll walk the feet back so that you can drop down onto the shins, come back into tabletop. You'll inhale, find a cow. Exhale, find a cat. Come back into tabletop and then set your hands and feet up. Just stretch back up into downward facing dog for a full breath in and a full breath out. Next breath in, you'll bend the knees and begin to walk the hands back towards the feet one more time, sinking the heels, coming into a fold. You'll inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Begin to walk the hands forward. And if you want, you come back into tabletop, or if you're ready, you can choose to stretch out into plank pose. You'll take a moment in table or in plank. And then when you're ready, stretch back up to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Bend the knees, lift the heels, and then take steps up to the top of the mat. Find a fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and either step back into a tabletop or a full plank. Breathe in the stillness of the shape you've chosen. And then as you're ready, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll stay here in breath. Take a big inhale and a bigger exhale. And remind yourself that your power is in the choice. Choose what works for you. And then as you are ready, big bend in right knee to eventually step that right foot forward in between the hands, runner's lunge. You can tap down that left knee first to begin, and we'll all meet in a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Arms will stretch up over the head. Take a big breath in here. Big breath out. Good, one more inhale. And then on the exhale, the left hand will come down, right arm stretches up, and you'll catch a twist. Breathe in the twist. Give your body permission to land. Good, take a big breath in. And then on the exhale, you'll square back down. Right hand plants, left knee lifts up, come into a runner's lunge. You can plant the palms. Step up and back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Bigger breath out. This time, big bend in the left knee on an inhale to spring it forward through the hands, runner's lunge. You'll tap that right knee down and then rise up to low lunge as you're ready. Take a big breath in here. Give yourself time to get familiar with the shape so that you know what this feels like. And then on an exhale, whenever that happens, the right hand will come down, the left arm will stretch up, and you'll find a low lunge twist. Good, big breath in. On the exhale, come out, up and back to runner's lunge, right knee lifts. Plant the palms, step left foot up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And on your next inhale, as you pull forward, you choose, come into plank pose with the knees lifted, or you drop them down, modified plank. Take a big breath in, and then on the exhale, bend the elbows lower down your way. Next inhale, you'll pull the heart forward, coming into a low cobra or a back bend of your choice. Then tuck the toes, lift the hips, press up and back, find downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. From this downward dog, big bend in the right knee. Exhale, spring it forward, runner's lunge. You can either keep that left knee up or tap it down to come into a low lunge. Or if your body is ready, you stretch up into high lunge. Arms will exalt over the head as we find crescent. The crescent that works for you. Good, big breath in. And then on the exhale, the hands will come to frame that front right foot. Left hand down, right arm reaches up, find your lunge twist. And you can let that left knee do whatever it needs to do, whatever feels right. Stay here. Big breath in. And on the breath out, right hand comes down, lift that left knee up, come back into runner's lunge. And then as you plant the palms, you decide, step right back to plank pose or move up and back, downward dog. Friends in plank, stay for a breath and then lift the hips up and back together. We meet downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. This time, inhale, big bend in the left knee, spring it forward on the exhale, runner's lunge. You would choose what happens with right knee, if it stays up or lowers down. And then as you're ready, begin to exalt the upper body up, arms reach over the head. Take a big breath in, remind yourself that you get to choose everything that happens here. And with that certainty, you'll bring the fingertips down, right palm grounds, left arm lifts, find your lunge twist. Good, big breath in. Exhale, come back out and you either step right away to down dog or you step left foot back to meet the right plank pose. Folks in plank, just stay for a breath in. Exhale, hips lift up and back together. We meet downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a bigger breath out. And then as you're ready, heels will lift, knees will bend, and you'll either walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat to find a forward fold. You'll inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Next, inhale, arms will sweep out to the sides, rise up to stand, palms will touch. Exhale, circle the arms back down by the sides. Find Tadasana, find your mountain. And when you come up to stand, root down through the three corners of the feet, big toe, pinky toe, back of the heel. Feel the legs alive, the belly lifts up, heart pulls forward. Take a breath here to stand in your own agency, your own power of choice. Remind yourself that there is no wrong answer for how you move today, just move the way that serves you. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And we'll continue to do just that. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over the head. Exhale, dive forward, fold. You'll inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, make your way back to your plank pose. Take a breath here in your plank, and on the exhale, bend the elbows, lower down your way. Inhale, rise up to your back bend of choice. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. This time different, big toes come together to touch. You'll sweep that right leg up to the sky, 3-point. Exhale, bend the knee and open the hip, and you can either keep that right knee open. You can begin to circle that right knee in different directions, or find some other movement that provides a little bit of space in right hip. If you're circling, go ahead and reverse the circle. Good, and then together on an inhale, we'll stretch that right foot back up, square up the hip, 3-point. Exhale, round in, knee to nose, cheetah. Inhale, swing back up, 3-point. Exhale, round in, knee to nose. Inhale, last time, stretch back up, 3-point. Exhale, round in, step the foot through, come into runner's lunge. And then set up the foundation of the feet first. Decide what the legs need to do. Left knee bends or stays elevated. And then as you're ready, you'll pull the arms forward and up over the head, come to your crescent. Good, you'll take a big breath in. And on the breath out, you'll drop the fingertips down to frame that front right foot. Left palm grounds, right arm stretches up, feel a twist. Good, big breath in. And on the breath out, right fingertips come down, square the shoulders, come into runner's lunge. Friends with the left knee down, go ahead and lift that up. And then as you're ready, we'll rise up to high lunge. Good, take a big breath in. Exhale, settle it out, plant down through the feet. Feel the possibility of your physical form. Feel the heat begin to generate in the body. And then as you are ready, on an inhale, sweep the arms forward, down and back, tip forward, find arrow lunge. And exhale will pull you back up to high lunge. And inhale, you'll carve through the space, forward into arrow. Exhale, up and back, high lunge. One more inhale, peel forward, carve through the space. Exhale, settle this time, stay in arrow lunge. If this is too much and you need to choose to drop that left knee down, you choose it. If this feels good, you stay here. Or perhaps for an added challenge, you root down through the feet, grab the hands and clasp them back behind you. And as you straighten the arms, heart lifts forward in a humbled arrow lunge. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let something go. And then as you are ready, release the hands down, frame front right foot. Step up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, big breath out. And then on an inhale, pull forward into your plank. And then continue to move through your flow. We'll meet up and back and downward facing dog. Whatever happens in between is completely your choice. Good, together we meet in downward facing dog for a big breath in and a bigger breath out. Step the big foot toes together, and this time stretch left leg up to the sky, 3-point. Right away, you'll bend the knee and open the hip, and here you have choices. You can either stay with a flex left foot dropping over to the right side. You can invite little circles in, rotating through the hip. or find some other movement that helps ease open left hip. Friends, circling the knees, go ahead and reverse directions. Good, and then together on an inhale, we'll stretch that left leg straight, 3 point. Exhale, round in, knee to nose, cheetah. Inhale, lift back up, 3 point. Exhale, round in, knee to nose. One more time, inhale, stretch back up, 3 point. Exhale, powerful step the foot through, runner's lunge. And from here, choose where that right knee needs to go. And then as you're ready, the arms will stretch up. You'll find your crescent lunge. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. One more big breath in, and then together on an exhale, we come forward and down into runner's lunge. Friends, with that right knee on the earth, go ahead and lift it up. We meet in runner's lunge. Excuse me, right hand will go down, left arm will reach up, we'll find a twist. Good, and then come out of your twist back into runner's lunge, and then together we'll come up to high lunge. And that might mean that you feel fine exactly where you are, might be familiar. You might need to walk in that back foot a little or a lot. Do what will serve you so you can access the shape to the best of your abilities. And then on an inhale, you'll begin to carve the arms forward, down and back, tip forward, find an arrow lunge. Exhale, pull yourself back up, crescent. Inhale, forward and back, arrow lunge. Exhale, pull up slow and steady, feel your strength, crescent. Last time, you'll inhale forward to arrow lunge, stay on the exhale. And from here, you have choices. If you need to drop that right knee, drop that right knee. If the arms down and back by the sides feels good, let it feel good. And for a little bit of a challenge, you can clasp the hands behind you, stretch, clasp this back, feel the heart pull forward, and you bow a little deeper. Good, take a big breath in, and then together we'll release the hands down, frame that left foot, step up and back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in, full breath out. And as you inhale, pull forward into your plank pose, take the flow completion that works for you. We'll meet together in a few breaths in downward facing dog. Good, when you get to downward facing dog, take a big breath in and a big breath out. And then as you are ready, lift the heels, bend the knees, make your way up to the top of the mat, find a forward fold. You'll inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Next, inhale, arms will sweep out and to the sides as you rise up to stand. Palms will touch over the head. Exhale, break them down by the sides. And as you stand here in Tadasana, let it be a pose of rest, but also find your strength. Remember your agency, your ability to choose, and stand on that foundation of all that you are and all that you can be. Take a big breath in, take a big breath out. And then as you're ready, lift the arms back up and over the head, exhale, guide forward, fold. You'll inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, and fingertips will come down. You'll step that left foot back about 3/4 of the way on the mat. The toes will turn on a slight diagonal and you'll find pyramid pose. So find the distance between the feet that works first. And when that feels right, focus your attention on the right big toe, right pinky toe. Root them down, feel sensation in back of right leg. Then take your attention to the left hip, and if it's slightly open out to the side, can you pull it forward and in line with the right? Press evenly into front and back foot, feel the vitality in the leg. And when the legs feel ready, then you get to choose what you do with the arms. Maybe they stay at the front of the mat, framing right foot. Maybe left hand goes to left hip to help encourage that left hip forward. Maybe right hand goes to right hip to challenge your balance. And only if it serves you, only if it feels like a choice you want to make, you'll clasp the hands back. And as you stretch the arms straight up, you'll dive head and heart forward over straight right leg. Regardless of what you do with the hands, press down even into both feet. Root into your choice, root into your body at present. So take a big breath in. And then slowly release the fingertips back down, frame that front right foot. You'll take a little bend in the right leg so that you can step that left foot all the way back, coming into a runner's lunge. And then together we'll drop that left knee down and you'll begin to walk the right foot out to the side on a diagonal to come into lizard. So here it's like, think of yourself at a pet adoption store. You get to pick the lizard that you want to adopt. So for a lot of us, lizard, just as it is going to be more than enough. Maybe you drop that right knee out to the side, coming onto the blade edge of right foot. Maybe you drop down onto the forearms. Breathe with what you find. Find the lizard that works for you, the lizard you want to take home, and then let your body settle into the shape. Good, take a big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Friends who have come down on the forearms, stretch back up onto palms first. Friends with the knee out to the side, come back so that right foot plants down. And then gently, you can use the right hand to kind of weave that right knee in towards the midline so that you can stretch back up into a runner's lunge. And then step left foot forward, find your fold. You can inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sigh it out, fold. And then as you're ready, left foot stays forward, right foot will step 3/4 of the way back to find pyramid on this side. So find the distance between the feet that works for you first. That might be wide, that might be short. Let it be just right. And when the distance feels good, focus on left foot rooted down. Feel the back of left hamstring begin to light up. And when that feels ready, take attention to right hip, pull it in line with the left. And when the feet feel firm, decide what adventure you want to take with the arms. Doesn't have to be what you did on the right side. It can be exactly what you did on the right side. No right or wrong answer, just yours. Good, take a big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Drop the hands back down to frame that left foot. And then you'll pick up the right heel enough so that you can just gently step that foot back to come into a runner's lunge. We'll drop the right knee down and then begin to walk that left foot out on a diagonal to find the lizard. Again, that works for you. So that might mean you stay exactly as you are. That might mean you roll out onto the blade edge of left foot, sinking left knee down. And maybe, just maybe, you come onto the forearms. Your choice can be different. It can be the same. Just give yourself permission to be with whatever you do choose. Good, last few breaths here. Good, and then friends on the forearms, go ahead and stretch back up onto the hands. Friends with the left knee out to the side, gently step that left foot down. And then together we can use that left hand to gently heel toe the foot in towards the midline. Stretch back up into a runner's lunge. And step that right foot up to meet the left, find a fold. And take a big breath in and out. And then this time you'll just step the feet down to drop one knee and then the other. And we'll sink back onto the heels just for a moment, come into hero's pose. And so here in hero's pose, just as with everything, you have choices. So the tops of the feet can be on the earth, or if it's easier for you to tuck the toes and sit back on the heels, you decide what works for you. But hands will come down to the tops of the thighs and the elbows will rest in toward the ribs. We'll heart forward slightly, drop the shoulders away from the ears and take a big breath in and a big breath out. And then as you're ready, left hand will come to the top of the right knee. Right hand will at first come to the small of your back as you open out to a twist on the right side. If this feels good, you stay. Or perhaps you begin to look over right shoulder and stretch that right arm out, almost like someone you love is pulling you back behind you, deepening the twist. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, come back forward and out of the twist. Rest both arms down. Big inhale. Bigger exhale. And then you'll make your way onto the other side. So right hand comes to left knee. Left hand comes back behind you to the small of your back first. Open out to the left. See how that feels. And then if you want to, you can look the gaze over left shoulder and begin to stretch left arm straight, deepening your twist. Good, take a big breath in. Come out and forward on the exhale. Big inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out, and then gently shift over onto one side to come to sit on your bottom. And we'll come into a seated figure 4 at first. So the legs will be slightly stretched out in front of you with a little bend in the knees. Hands will come back behind you. You'll rock onto the bottom and flex left foot will cross over right ankle. So just as with everything, you get to choose how far out or in that right foot is. Find a distance that brings sensation but not pain to left hip and breathe with what you find. Last 3 breaths here. Good, and then as you're ready, you'll stretch that right leg completely straight out in front of you. You'll take the sole of left foot inside the right thigh, kind of find your footing. Right fingertips will come out to the sides and that left hand will reach forward to the outside of either right calf, right ankle, or maybe for right pinky toes as you dive over straight right leg. Good, take a big breath in. Exhale, let something go. And then as you're ready, make your way back up to sit and you can switch. So that left leg will go kind of a long bend in front of you. Roll back onto the bottom so that a flexed right foot can catch over left knee. And then you find the distance between bottom and left foot that serves you. And breathe with what comes up in the hips in seated figure 4 on this side. Good, last 3 breaths here. And then when you're ready, that left leg will begin to stretch all the way out forward and in front of you. Bottom of right foot will come to the inside of left thigh. Left fingertips tend out by the side so that that right hand can reach as you fold and catch either calf, outside of ankle, or pinky to side of the left foot. Good, take a big breath in. And as you're ready, begin to come out slow and steady. And this time you can stretch that right leg forward and you can widen the distance between the feet, or if straight legs together work for you. Let's take a big breath in, lift the arms up and over the head, and then dive to your seated forward fold. You're welcome to bend the knees so that the thighs can catch the chest. And as you take this final fold, imagine it as yourself bowing into your own inherent wisdom, honoring the choices that were right for your body because you made them in practice today. Take one more breath. And then as you are ready, begin to stretch back up to sit. You can bend the knees and shift forward slightly on your mat so that slow and steady, you can begin to lower the back down. And when you feel that your spinal column is rested on the earth, you can shift the hips around a little, maybe widen the space between the shoulders, and allow that space from the base of the spine to the top of the head to settle into the ground. Let the feet gently press in, the knees will point up towards the sky. And invite a few moments here to find that grounding, that rooting down in completion of a practice that was by you and for you, so that you can rest firmly in those choices. And then as you are ready, gently step the feet in a little bit closer towards the hips. You can press down into the feet to lift the hips up and over to the left. And then stacked knees will drop to the right as you find a spinal twist on this side. So when the lower body has reached a twist, invite that left shoulder to drop down as perhaps the left arm stretches out to the side and the gaze follows. You'll take a big breath in and then begin to come out on the exhale, and you'll gently switch sides. So feet will plant down, hips will go over to the right, stacked knees will drop left. And when the lower body is ready for that twist, invite the upper body along for the journey. So right hand reaches out to the side, gaze follows. And in these final moments of practice, this twisting sensation, let it be these final moments of release of the things that do not serve you, whether it be thoughts or feelings, sensation in the body, anything that you don't want to choose. Let those go on the exhale. No need to carry them with you. Give yourself the comfort of release. And when it feels right, you can land both hips back on the earth. Gather knees into the chest and wrap the hands around the knees. Give yourself one final embrace. Recognition of a practice full of choices that were right for your body today. Let that feel good. Trust you made the right decisions. Take a big breath in, and then on the exhale, stretch out into your Shavasana, your well-deserved rest. Take a big breath in to gather your awareness back to this physical space. Gently awaken the body by wiggling fingers and toes, maybe squeezing and releasing the hands. And then when you are ready, stretch the arms all the way up and over the head. Take a big breath in, feel the spaciousness of your physical container. And then gather palms together at prayer at the heart, where you'll rub them to create a little bit of heat. Place one hand over heart, one hand over belly. As you hold yourself for one final moment in completion of a practice that not only reminded you of your own agency and your ability to choose, but it allowed you to make the choices that were right for you, to do what you need, to listen to your body and make something by you and for you that hopefully was just right. Hold yourself in the sweetness of that space. And when you are ready, gather knees into chest, roll onto your favorite side just for a moment, and then press down through the hands to come back up to sit. And take your time, get there when you get there. But when you found once more a comfortable seat, palms come together at prayer at the heart as you bow into your inherent wisdom. Bow into a completion of a practice again where you listened to your body and hopefully gave it what you needed. I thank you so much for moving and grooving with us today. As always, take care, be well, and may peace be with you. Thank you, everybody.